Well, as this is a Canadian channel, about 50% of my videos should be in French. That is not going to happen, but I guess I should be covering some more French progressive rock bands. And this one I just can't help but love, so let's dive into it. Le fantastique envol de Diderbom by Lazuli. So, if I didn't butcher any of those pronunciations, Lazuli is a French progressive rock band. They got their start in the mid-90s. I got into their stuff with Saison 8, or Saison 8, rather, because I know French, and really like their playing styles. I love how they infuse different styles, and it's kind of like just good progressive rock, if you know what I mean. Like, they're not trying to be anything too game changer. They're not trying to do anything crazy or blow down the doors. They're just trying to make some good prog, and I really enjoy that. So we find ourselves with their latest album of La Fantastique Envol de Diderbom. I've been digging this album and loving this album within the past couple of weeks that I've been getting into. I found out that this album was released back in like February or so really diving deep in this. And the one thing that I do love about this album in particular is each song has just a brilliant play out or a brilliant moment that really lets it shine. Now, I'm not going to be referring to half of these tracks by name, so I'm just going to kind of pick and choose as I go, because I don't really know what the song titles are. I honestly don't speak French. I know, bad Canadian, but I at least appreciate a lot of things that are going on here. I really appreciate the fourth track of Diderbom has this like 80s style, this really like harkens back to like the new wave feel of being a lot of fun, synthesized led without being like over the top cheesy. Like, there's a little bit of cheese that are on it, but more as like a seasoning and not as an overall dish. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's talk about that first track of Seoul. Seoul opens up with this march, and it feels like a march. And I like how it really marches itself up into this flight. And I mean, the whole thing is the fantastic voyage or the fantastic flight of Diderbom, or I guess it's Diderbom's fantastic flight. So I love how it really lets itself build up to something really, really interesting. And that ending piece, like, this song opens up the album really well in letting us know what we're in for, because dang, that outro on this track. And that's also followed up with the second and third track. They do their own thing as building itself back up again. And again, these playouts, man, I'm loving the atmosphere. It's very optimistic. It's really kind of a nice treat for me at this time when we're not really sure what's going on around us. And even some of the smaller moments, like envol, I believe that's flight. It might start off kind of small and very soothing, but it really builds itself up into a really special track that, even though this track is only about 2 minutes and 25 seconds, it really uses each one of those seconds just perfectly. So yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I've been loving this album. This is what I go to for that symphonic prog of like a retro prog. So this is kind of that symphonic retro prog that I've been craving for the past, well, year or so, because I can't think of the last really, really good symphonic retro prog outfit that's kind of come my way. Yeah, this is one that I would highly recommend. It's getting the note seal of approval. I would say that this is one that you would want to pick up in physical format. Even though I've gushed about it, there are some weaknesses. Like, there's no really meaty single moment that I can really pinpoint and say that was amazing. I do have a feeling, though, that the more I listen to this, the more I'm going to get out of it. So this will most likely end up being on my top 10 albums of the year, just for the re-listenable and replay value that I'm going to get out of it. This is one of those run, don't walk to go and listen to. If you haven't heard it already, go and check it out, because it's definitely worth your time. I feel like bands that don't sing in English don't get listened to quite as often, and I think that that needs to change. It does for certain bands, but this is one that I think we need to make an exception to, and I think they need to be an ambassador for bands that sing in other languages as well. So that's about it for La Fantastique Envol de Diderbom by Lazuli. What did you guys think? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Go out and listen to it. As I mentioned, this is a run, don't walk to listen to album. Gets the note seal of approval. Once you do, let me know of your own thoughts about this album by commenting down below. And that's about it. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, you guys are definitely the best. And until next time, notes out.